how to get away with murder. Just be a cop. Okay, so obviously everyone knows really what's going on in the last few weeks with a bunch of people being killed by cops, especially African American people. And so just a quick thing, because this is the part that always gets me. People use that hashtag Black Lives Matter tag. Very important hashtag, and I feel that people undervalue it. But I hate when during those times there's, and again, you can take offense, I really don't care. White people are quick to use hashtag All Lives Matter, and I think that confuses me, because when it comes to the All Lives Matter, I'm pretty sure it's the brown people that are targeted for people thinking that they're Muslims, the Hispanic people for thinking they're every other regular drug dealer or something, black people for always being considered as thugs. Our president even calls them thugs, so I mean, and yet white people aren't really the ones that are targeted. So I get confused when that All Lives Matter bullshit comes into the like social media and everything. Like, I explained it on my Instagram the other day, and I made sure not to put the hashtag before All Lives Matter, because I was like, I refuse to even acknowledge it as a hashtag, because I think that's just utter bullshit. So the one thing I was thinking about was that I wanted to mention was, so as I read only on one article. I'm gonna look it up later, but I just want to do just a rough video right to get it out. 25 years for life, while it's not a lot for the man who killed George Floyd, I think that I'm not saying people need to settle. I'm not saying that. People should continue to fight. People should continue to protest. People should continue to actually get this huge issue noticed. But people aren't, not to say pleased, I don't know the correct word to use, but people aren't, I'll say in this tense, at least happy with him getting 25. While maybe at least even 2 to 3 years ago, he probably would have gotten away with nothing. I'm still happy that man got 25 years, if I read that correctly. Because for him to get even a sentence is a huge deal, because a lot of the cops that have killed people, kids, they never get caught, in a sense that they are given the leave with pay, or they're just suspended, or they're just fired, but then no other repercussion after that. That there has to be something that we have to at least grab and per se be happy with. It's not settling in it, because I'm not trying to say settle, but it's that you should be happy that there was a consequence in the first place, because we have never really gotten consequences as far as I remember. I could be wrong with the very, very few exceptions, but we wanted a consequence for him and he got something. We still need to keep bringing this issue up, but I feel that fighting against the 25 years is pointless. We should be fighting for the overall breaking the system of it even happening. Another thing was the Target looting. Okay, so this, for me, I've done Taekwondo. I like watching sparring. I love Kung Fu movies, so I'm not, like, I like watching the fighting in a sense. But I'm not a person that believes in violence, in a sense. For me, it's Gandhi and Martin Luther's ideals will always be more important than, for example, Malcolm X's, because I don't believe that violence is the answer. You can try to change my mind on that. You can try to justify the Target looting and any violent protest as like a good thing, but I will not see it that way, because for me, even though they're doing something horrible, and I will not justify their thing at all, it's a horrible deed, you cannot tell me that a Target looting is a justifiable way to protest that. No, I think, for example, the police station burning, I wouldn't have participated in it, because that's still violent to me, but I would lean towards that way faster than, hey, let me destroy a bunch of property, or such as like Target or restaurants, or there was one protest in Eugene the other day or yesterday they were vandalizing a Jimmy John's, and people are quick to say that, oh well, Target's just a big corporation. That's not the point. The point is that you are lowering yourself to their standards. And I can understand, again, if you don't disagree with me there, but for me, if you're lowering yourself to someone else's standards, that's it there. You are equivalent to that person. You did not commit murder, but you're still showing yourself in a bad view. And I don't care, oh, social media, no. The fact remains is the news will portray you however they want to portray you. If you are showing a nonviolent protest, there's no other way to put it than a nonviolent protest, and that will gather people to your side. Because the point is, it's sad, but we need the celebrities, we need the white politicians to actually speak up about it. Because the fact is, we've had black politicians talk about it, we've had black celebrities talk about it, nothing gets done. And it sucks, but usually when we have the white man on our side, it kind of works. So when you're doing stuff like that, it's not good for it's a very controversial topic when it comes to that, but it's not good for their public view if they're siding with people that are committing such violent acts. Again, the police station I will justify, and I would understand, because that was the point. It's the police at least the bad police that are an issue, and the police officers that let them get away with it. Because there are the police officers that probably see it, they may not participate, but they still let them get away with it, and that's an issue as well. But yeah, it's just, I feel like people undervalue nonviolence, because I feel that nonviolence is the long-term solution. Violence will always give you your short-term solution. I won't disagree with that. So, but I'm not worried about the kid that'll get shot in maybe a year from now. I'm worried about the hundreds of kids that could get shot tens of years from now. I believe that if we go through the path of nonviolence, that you could have a long-term solution for years and years and years on top of years to come. The violent methods will only get you a 1 year, 2 year solution, and then we're back where we started, doing the protests again, doing the violent protests again, and the same thing. It's a repetitive cycle, and I hate seeing nonviolence. Even though there's been a lot of bad stuff, I'm not underlying the bad things that have shown up. I still think that through the path of nonviolence, there's been much better outcomes than the path of violence. One thing I hope you guys can just understand, and my friend Matthew posted it on his Instagram, and I've seen other people post it and be outright about it, not just considering Target, but overall, vandalizing is not protesting. It just isn't. Like, if you need to see protests, you can look up one of the biggest protests with Martin Luther King. You can look up protests in India with Gandhi. You can look up protests that are happening right now in downtown Los Angeles. Literally, just marching, block off a street, march down. You have to call out the issue. You can't, and then another thing is that you can't hide from the fact you're protesting. You can't show up to a protest and then run away when the cops are there. That's a side tangent, and I'm sorry. It's just, I was watching the live yesterday for a Eugene protest, and almost like 80 to 90% ran away when the cops showed up. The point is, the cops are the issue. You're running away from the people you're trying to protest against. That's not proving your point. And I'm sorry to put it like this, it's white people being bored and not being able to understand the real issue here and just wanting to support like the black people. That's not how that works, and it bothers me that people think that, and I don't know any way to get it out there in a sense, but it's just, if you're going to protest, listen to the people that organize it, because if you're not listening to them, you're probably just going to be doing whatever you want, and that's not the point of the protest. That absolutely is not. I feel that people want to be not racist. It's not about not being racist anymore. Maybe it was a while back, but it was more about, now it's officially to the point, especially with all these deaths piling on top. It's about being anti-racist. And I was watching a video with Andrew Schultz, and he was talking about he's talking about the fact that there's a clear right and wrong now when it comes to anti-racist. Maybe a while back, like a very, very, very long time ago, it wasn't as clear that some things were offensive, some things were not. I still believe there's a difference between a racist joke, because it's, for example, meant for comedy, versus actual hateful racism, because racism has hate in it. And I won't get into that side topic right now. But being not racist is not the key anymore. It's about being anti-racist. You need to be able to fight any system that shows racism. If you are willing to let the racist establishment just keep building and hurting people, you are in the wrong. It's not even you're the minority, you're just in the wrong, because you're okay with people being harmed, you're okay with people being hurt, and I don't think that's okay. A lot of people don't think that's okay, and I'm pretty sure it's plain, there's a plain right and wrong now. It's not about what you're feeling or what your opinion is. If you're okay with people being murdered like that, and you're not realizing that it's because he's black that he's being killed, you are blind, and you need to figure out what's going on with your own morality, in a sense. There was this video of, I don't know the name of the woman, but she was walking her dog in the park, and this bird watcher, black guy, something Cooper, he got mad at the woman because the dog wasn't on a leash, and she already knew that he was black, obviously, by looking, and she knew already that there's a establishment set up within police hierarchy. Okay, if I call the police and especially target that this guy is a black guy, they'll probably come get him, arrest him, etc. And she played on that. You can Google the video, and you'll find that she's nothing's happening. The guy isn't walking towards her. She walked towards him, in fact. She kept like screaming, practically like crying on the phone, while he's just calmly saying, "You can say whatever you want, I'm recording." But yeah, she was pretty much saying that, oh, he's a African-American black guy, he's trying to do this, blah, blah, blah. And that's an example of how people are letting a system be racist in itself. I know I say a lot, I apologize, but it's just the whole gathering thoughts thing. But I needed to make a rough video to get it out as soon as possible, because I'm tired of seeing this stuff on social media. And the other thing, just to quickly end it, I don't care what you guys say. I think there are good cops, because I've seen videos of not even just black cops, white cops as well, protesting with all these other people. They themselves, it's not just black cops, but there are some white cops, Hispanic cops, etc. They protest as well because they believe what's happening is wrong too. There is probably legal things within the police department, I don't know fully because I'm not a police officer, that they can't do at the time, but they try to help whichever way they can. And instead of people being angry that they can't do it, be happy that they're trying to do something. You should be happy that they are trying to fight the system, that they're trying to fix whatever they can. And I hate when people say fuck the cops, or like you shouldn't say that, not all cops are bad, because no, I'm sorry, but not all cops are bad. If you disagree with me there, I'm sorry, that's you being a bit dumb, because I'm pretty sure if you were about to get murdered or arrested, mugged, then you'd want to call a cop so he'd get arrested. So before you ever are in a bad scenario, just think about who you're going to call if you're in that bad scenario. Probably going to be a cop. But fuck the system, am I right? So I think a lot of people need to work on what their opinion is on a certain topic before they do something about it, because you can see that there's the white people who don't get what a protest is and just like to vandalize stuff and steal. There's the white people that are just bored and join in and then run away, and all you see are the black people left at those protests, or colored people, such as browns. All these races have gone through something, and I feel that you need to stand with, everyone needs to stand with each other. Asian Americans went through horrible stuff when it came to World War II. Muslims still go through so much shit after 9/11 happened, and each president, including your beloved savior Barack Obama, did the Muslim ban. They're like, and African Americans to this day, they still have to deal with so much stuff. Hispanics still have to deal with so much stuff. Like, it's wrong when you're not supporting something like this, even in a small way. It's not about going to protest. Some people are scared to protest, and I can understand that. You have a phone, you have social media, I'm pretty sure you live in a city where there's a town hall. Do something, talk to people, spread the idea of it, get someone to participate, something, because if you're idly sitting by, nothing is going to happen, and all you'll see is more deaths and more murders happening throughout the years. So I'm hoping that there's no more murders for a while, and I hope that people keep trying to fight for their right of a happy life and just life in total, because I hate seeing those like paintings and stuff of like, I saw one the other day, a cop was like was sitting next to a black kid, and he said, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And the kid said, "Alive." That just angered me, that even a picture like that has to exist for someone to get the message that this is what's going on. In the words of Ja Rule, when something like that happens, it's murder. I'm hoping that you guys understand at least the point of this video, and I'm sorry that it's such a rough cut. I'm going to be working on better ways to talk and edit the video when I post them. But this will be the new format, by the way, when it comes, when I'll be posting on the website. I will accompany small, not articles, but small blog posts along with the videos, just in case you don't want to watch the full thing. I hope you do. I will be posting more. They'll be in the Nerd Talk and the Life Talk session, and then I'll have my either regular podcast, video podcast coming out. Thank you for listening, and I hope you are able to talk to your friends and other people about the situation that's going on. Peace.